Hi, this is Jim Tarr, and today we'll be learning about flower garden supplies and tips. On our garden supplies, the first thing any gardener needs is a good hand trowel. This will be your best friend in the garden. It doesn't matter what else you do in the garden, you're going to need a hand trowel. Make sure you get a good sturdy one that won't break. There's no sense buying a cheap one or you'll be back to the store a million times to get a new one. Another thing a lot of people like are some nice gardening gloves. These have to be a real soft, thin nitro with the rubber palm on them. I think these work really well. They don't tend to make your hands sweat like a lot of them do, and they keep the blisters away. Some other things you'll probably need is a good garden fertilizer. We have a couple here. On the fertilizers, this happens to be a 4-4-4 nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And that's for the most part what you're going to want on your flowers and veggies. Just a good balanced fertilizer. Something that has equal numbers in all four of them. This promotes the greening, the flowering and rooting, and all around general vigor. Some other tools you're going to want to use. You're going to want some good sturdy shovels. This one happens to be a gardening spade. You want to make sure that it has a little footrest on here, so as you press your foot on here, your foot doesn't get tired if you're digging a lot. This is a really interesting one. It has the rounded handle and it's just ergonomically correct. This is a hula hoe. It works a lot like a garden hoe, but a little bit better. You just slide this along the ground and this will just chop your weeds off on this little bar here. As you slide it along, you can go back and forth. And as you go back and forth, the weeds chop on both surfaces. And so it cuts down on your time quite a lot. This is a little mini shrub rake. On the shrub rakes, you always have trouble getting between those little tight areas, especially with small shrubs, perennials. This, in the fall or even in the spring, you can get in there and work your way right around so you don't have to get down on your hands and knees. This particular fertilizer is great for using a little bit later on in the summer, either on your flowers or on your vegetables. This is called rooting and blooming. This has a really high phosphorus content. Its nitrogen is only 9, but the phosphorus is 59, and that's what really helps push out the flowers and the fruits. I often use this on my flowering pots. Once you've got them going, maybe after they've been planted up for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, put this on and it will really push out the flowers. You can do the same thing with your tomatoes or vegetables and it will really help improve your crops. This is Jim Tarr, and today we've learned about flower garden supplies and tips.